Hey YouTubers, Seth here, and today I'm bringing you a new video. This one is the Ultimate MISCS Guide featuring Crowley the Beast Warrior. It's a continuation of the series, and in this episode I will feature on all the MISCS that you need to pick up to run a Beast Warrior. But in general, these are MISCS you might want to pick up as a regular player as well. First of all, I need to put it out there, these are not going to include seasonals and rare items just because I want it available to all players throughout the year. So getting into it, starting with fire, you need to do Maze of the Mana Dragon. It's a fairly long quest and I wouldn't advise doing it alone. Recommend you do it in case you're picking up something like Worm Knight Shield or the armor, Draco Morgify and all of that good stuff. It's fairly straightforward, just need to make sure you don't put it on in front of the dragon. You have to purify it first, otherwise you have to repeat the entirety of the quest again, which is bloody annoying. It's pretty straightforward. It gives fire resistance, burn for 10 turns, and I think combat defenses, so it's worth picking up and looks pretty cool too. Next up, water. Do keep in mind that Tranquility Fountain, which I've also recommended while making this video, is no longer in the limited time shop. I'm not sure where it is and I'll update it when I get the information, or it might have gone rare. But until then, your best bet is Layard's Deception. Now, I could recommend you go for the Coir Doctor. I'm not really sure, it's something Celtic or Welsh, but I suppose that's more favoured with Beast Mages because of the mana upkeep. This one boosts your accuracy along with providing water resistance, so it's comboable. You can use something like use it for skills or all that good stuff. And it's to unlock the quest where you get this item. You need to undo another quest, that's to unlock Clyde's Forge. Both of the quests are pretty short, not more than 8 battles apiece, which is less compared to most of the items on this list, so I suppose this is like the easier of what you're going to do. The quest itself is, well, it's nice. It sort of expands on the lore behind one of an older item that was released, a sword by the name Leon's Deception or Destruction or something like that. Either way, short quest, you can pick up a few items in case you don't want to quest a lot. There's good fire axes and all that. Next up for Wind is one of the most annoying quests to do. It's of course the Fusion quest, and you pick up the Divine Yasakani Jewel from the Imperial Regalia. What it does is boosts healing and provides boosts to your charisma, so it's decent for a Beast Warrior, I suppose. And it gives wind resistance. There's really not much else to talk about aside from how ridiculously long this quest is. But considering the fact that you're more than likely to pick up either one of Tonbogiri or Shield, which is Fujin no Shuju Fuku. Sorry, I'm not Japanese, I don't really know how to pronounce that. Among other things, I mean, the pet's decent too, so you're more than likely to do this quest every now and then. So this is definitely an item that you should pick up in conjunction with those items as well. Do keep in mind that this MISCS starts at level 105, which is about the time which you should start using MISCS in general, especially defensive MISCS like elemental resistances and all of that. That's because that's when monster damage really starts creeping up. Until then, I think it's just best to use something for fire or darkness and light, because other monsters aren't really that strong and most bosses are one of those elements anyway. So as you can see, I'm not inclined to battle him like properly, so I'm just using ally assist to get it over quickly, because I've got to record other things. So that's about it. This is the Divine Yasakani Jewel. It starts from level 105, so keep in mind. Until then, I don't think you should use a MISCS, but anyway, that's all up to you. Coming to the ice part, Torosho Void Helm or Wiser. You have to pick up the Mastercraft version, which you can only obtain after you've completed the entire, the entire chain of quests and done the challenge battle. So it's fairly long, but it's rewarding, and you get a pretty good armor, shield, and weapons as well along with it. Coming to Earth, this is relatively, it's not the best, I suppose. It's not optimal, but it's why I recommend you get something like Green Dragon or Karina for Earth, which also boosts your charisma and gives you a guest. But this is Guardian Polygalactase process, which boosts your damage versus Earth monsters by 20%, so standard. But its resistance is 35%, so its reduction is 35%. Sorry, so it's not on par with most of the MISCS that I will be listing on this list, basically. But in terms of utility, because it provides damage, I suppose that it sort of makes up for it. But in case you have access to Green Dragon or Karina or the Portal, so you can get it any time of year, I recommend you get it over this because it's a lot more useful in general. Now the quest to do this, it's just one monster that you've got to battle, but keep in mind, depending on which monster you go up against, the special attack is either energy, light, fire, or wind. I'm not sure, either one of those. Now, currently I'm battling the energy version, which frankly is quite appalling because it deals a shit ton of damage. Alright, so coming to energy, this is the only item on this list which is subtractive in the resistance it provides to energy, which is -10%. And aside from that, it's the only item specifically built for Beastmasters in general, because it boosts the damage your pets deal, so it's something that you most likely will want to pick up unless you've got something like Truth of Fur from Valentine's Day, I think it was, which gives energy protection and gives you a chance at celerity in addition to boosting your charisma, which is very good. But in case you don't have access to it, this is the item that you will have to go through. Now the quest for this is, you'll have to battle a fair few mobs before you get to the final boss. But he's pretty straightforward by all means and accounts, just hits with multiple elements, so take a few potions if you want to get paralysis on, and just stall him out, just chip away at his health. Coming to light, this is one of the best MISCS in general in the game because it not only provides stat boosts to your strength, intellect and endurance, it also gives an accuracy boost, on top of which it halves the light damage that you take, so all in all, absolutely brilliant. The downside is it costs 98 SP as an upkeep, so you basically don't regenerate any skill points for the remainder of the turn. Not to mention the fact that it's a very long quest, about 2 quests. I mean, you have 1 quest just to access the item quest, so it's a Mastercraft and there are plenty of items that you will want to pick up from this, so it's definitely worth questing for. Coming to Darkness, this is by far the easiest MISC in the game to obtain because it doesn't involve any questing, you just have to go and buy it straight from Haven. Now the reason I recommend this over others is because most darkness monsters inflict fear of some sort, and this MISC provides fear resistance. So, in addition to your normal darkness. Aside from that, in case this doesn't interest you, you can always go for Catcher's Mask, which for some reason I haven't actually included in this list. Now, coming to utility items, these are a few things that you will want to pick up, especially in case you want to fit in more items in a conjunction with your elemental resistance list. Now, first up is Cyclops Eye. I'm pretty sure I've made a video in the Trials of Shadow on how to get it. But either way, you've got one day, it's the Cyclops Day, it cycles every 3 Legends of Lore. Aside from that, you can also pick it up on the Challenge Gauntlet Day, where you take the regular gauntlet, and that lets you access all of the items like for that particular batch of monsters. So what it does is, it changes elements, the resistance it provides based on the damage you take. So if someone hits you for fire damage, it changes to reduce your fire damage. So it's great against elemental mobs and those who seek, because normally they can't keep track. That's how the AI works. Now next up is Pendant of the Galen, which is a straight up utility MISC. It provides accuracy boost and end boost, and randomly selects an element and halves the damage that you take from it. So in case you're battling multi-elemental mobs, this is something you might want to look into. And in general, because it's on older standards, the HP that you gain off of it is more compared to other items, because new items give you an end boost depending on how much HP you have, while this one gives you a flat out boost. So one of the downsides to this is because a lot of monsters that you've got to fight while doing this quest, not to mention the fact that the boss monster is absolutely horrendous to deal with. It's got low resistances, you can't use Harm and Void because they deal even less damage, on top of which it paralyzes you with fear. So using Liquid Courage is something I'd recommend while going up against this, and use skills as much as you can. Right now I'm using Cyber Shogun, which are actually quite under-leveled, almost 20 levels to be honest at this point. But because the skill is so strong and it's cheap, I'd rather use this than something like Horror Show, which is very costly. Now, coming to Shadowfield Pendant, while most of you might be aware of this, this is by far the most utility MISC out there. I mean, for mages, you can use it to regenerate SP, but for warriors, it's just to gain celerity at the cost of about 300 SP a shot. You can combine this with Purple Rain to make it almost free, just cost 47 SP. Now, what this does, it provides you an extra turn of damage, so instead of just attacking once, you can attack twice in a row, which is great in case you want to use skills and all of that. Now, it's a fairly simple quest. You just have to go through Ultimate Fortress and do past 3. I think it's a wall, I'm not sure exactly, but the monsters is fairly simple. It's just speed them through. There's a save at the end, and I think a Full Metal Alchemist reference somewhere around there. So yeah, this is one of the items that you might want to pick up in case you use skills rather than just guests at all times. that's all for this video. I hope you found this useful and I hope it helped you out in your build and all of that. A few recommendations in case you have access to seasonal items, so be sure to check them out. And yeah, that's all for this video. I will catch you all next time. Cheers.